Hi and welcome to another episode of Grey Mouse Does Stuff. I'm Grey Mouse and today we are going to be using Corel Video Studio Pro to edit and create a DVD, a PAL DVD. I've got some video already. The type of video it is a transport stream file. In order for Corel Video Studio to read these files, we have to rename or change the extension to make it look like it's another file format. So let's do that to begin with. Now we need to do this, otherwise Corel Video Studio wouldn't recognize the TS file extension and it wouldn't recognize the type of video it is. So by giving it another name, M2T, Corel Video Studio is quite happy to. I'll just quickly rename those. That's ready to be imported into Corel Video Studio now. So we'll switch back over to Corel Video Studio. Okay, let's import the video. So we'll import the first file only at the moment, and I'll show you why in a minute. Let's check the properties of this first clip. By checking the properties of the clip, it will tell us what the original aspect ratio and width and height is of the video. So when we set up this particular project, we make sure that the output is going to be identical as this video here. So it's 720 by 576, which is normal PAL, but it is widescreen at 16:9 aspect ratio. Check out my other clip on creating a PAL DVD on YouTube on how to set up a project and what aspect ratios are all about. Knowing this information, we have to check a few things before we put any video onto the timeline. Go to settings, make sure that this is ticked, go to project preferences, go to edit. Okay, that's fine. Right, these are set okay. This is set okay. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to change the quality to 100%. Again, if you look at my Corel Studio creating a PAL DVD, I explain these settings more in depth in that video. To pass and code, that's fine, and Dolby Digital Audio, great. Okay, so our project settings have been set up. Let's start some editing. The editing technique that I am going to show you is one that I use myself. I find it very quick to do, and it means that I don't need to drag the entire video onto the timeline. We're going to be using one source file at a time to do this technique. Let's begin. We start over here with the scrubber. And then we can use the time code here for more specific cutting of frames. So here we have seconds and here we have milliseconds. The easiest way to find the beginning of your video is to use the milliseconds. To do that, we click on the 16 and you can see here that it is blinking. What we do now is we're going to move the video using the down arrow here to find the beginning of the clip that I want. And you can hold down the mouse button to speed things up, but for more precise cutting, just do individual clicks. So this is the very first frame I want. And what I do is I click on the scissors which is split. Alright, what do we have here now? Here we have the very beginning of the video which we've cut out, and here we have the video that we want to work with. To continue this, we click on the video that we want to work with, which is orange, and once again we use the scrubber to find the first break, and in this case I'm going to be using ads as breaks. Okay, here we find a part of video that I don't want, so I will use the time code here, seconds, to go back to the logo for the ad break. And now I'll use the milliseconds to get to the black screen to indicate that there's a break. Once we've done that, click on the scissors again. Okay, so now we've got two new files. One is the beginning of the video, which I'll put onto the timeline. We can use the zoom in, zoom out to make the timeline look smaller, so it's easier to be editable. And have a quick look at it. Good. Starts okay, and it should end on a black screen where we cut it. Great. It has, as you can see, it has created yet another file, and this particular file is the ad break. So if we click on that one and we use the scrubber again, see it will be the commercial, and we'll just keep going until we find the beginning of the next segment. Okay, here we go. So once again I will use the seconds here to find a precise beginning. So that's gone too far, so I will now use the milliseconds to get the exact black screen that we want. Here we go, so a few more back, and then cut. So again it's created two files, this one which is the ad break that we don't want, and this one is the beginning of the next segment for the program. So now I've dragged both pieces to the timeline. We can pull this along and we'll see that it skips the ads. This is the reason why I suggest you to do only one file at a time, because you, like me, I'll get confused as to which part belongs where, because you've got multiple cuts. So if you open all the files at once, it becomes very confusing. Since we've reached the end of this file 001, we will open up the next file and do exactly the same. Again, this is the part we want to keep. We pull the scrubber along, looks like an ad break. So let's go back by a second. So ad break. Okay, there's the logo, and now we use the milliseconds. Great, and we cut it there. Again, it's created two videos. One which is the part we want to keep, we drag that down to the timeline. This is the remainder of this video, which is also the beginning of the ad break. So again, we pull the scrubber along. It's too far. Okay. Use the seconds to speed it up a little bit. That's too far. We'll use the milliseconds again. And we cut. So again, it's created two files. This file here is the entire ad break, and this file here is the part we want to keep. So let's have a look through this segment of video for the next ad break. Okay, great, there isn't one, so that's easy. Drag the whole lot down. Quick look at the video. Yep, great, so it's gone from one video file straight into the other. I'll repeat the process again. This is the next file, number 3. Okay, this is, we want to keep this video, and we just went past an ad break, so we have to go back. It's too far. Alright, so here's the next bit that we want to keep. It's only a very small part of the whole video to begin with. This file here is a new file that it created with the beginning of the commercial break. Now we pull the scrubber along to find the beginning of the next part. So again, it's created two files. This part here is the entire commercial break, which we don't want, but it has created this file, which is the beginning of the next segment. We pull the scrubber along to find the next ad break to trim off. There it was. The milliseconds here allows me to go frame by frame, whereas the seconds will skip a whole second forward, a whole 60 frames forward each time. So a milliseconds gives you a more precise editing. Okay, it's created two files again. This one we want to keep. we'll put it onto the timeline, and this is where the ad break begins. So we pull the scrubber along till we find the beginning for the program. It's created two files again. This one's the ad break. This one's the program. Pull the scrubber along. Want to keep that, so we'll put it onto the timeline. And if we go through the video here quickly, you can see it transitions smoothly between each video file. And the ad breaks, as you can see, also have been removed. Alright, I would suggest saving the project regularly so you don't lose all the cuts and trims that you've made. So I'll do that now. That way you don't lose where you're up to, especially with a video clip which is quite long. Alright, so now I'll just work away and do the rest. Cue the music.
Come on!
I'm happy with that, let's look into creating a DVD out of this. Let's start by rewinding the video all the way back to the beginning. We use the slider bar down here to do that. And we click on the very first file that we edited. It's now pop in a blank DVD into your drive. The blank DVD will allocate the amount of space versus the length of the video. So we go to Share, Create Disk, DVD. I'm just going to create a simple DVD. I don't want a menu on it, but I would still recommend that you add chapters. Chapters will ensure that it's not one long big file without any breaks, and it also makes it easier for you to skip parts of it to get to where you want out of the hour and 52-minute video. So to do that, we click on Add Edit Chapter, and we just do Auto Add Chapters, either or. Okay, and as you can see down here, it's created thumbnails of each beginning of each chapter. Okay, let's check the project preferences and settings once more. Yep. Yes, yep. Yep. Yep, yep. It's all fine. Go next. This will load a preview window. This is what the video would look like. It's going to look like. It's, as you can see, widescreen 16:9 as the original source. Go to next. And as you can see, the length of the video, which is an hour and 52 minutes and 34 seconds, has gone over the physical disk size of 4.7 gigs. What we need to do is lower the quality of the video in order for it to fit onto the 4.7 gigabyte DVD. If you bought a dual layer disk, it will fit quite happily, as you can see, but we've only got a standard 4.7 gigabyte disk. So let's alter the settings to make sure that it will fit. We start by going to Project Settings. Those are all correct. MPEG Settings, Customize. Go over to the Compression tab. This is the video data rate is the one that we need to alter. 8000 is the highest quality, and we just need to lower the quality until it will fit onto the blank DVD. So it has to be done in 1000 kilobyte per second increments. So that's too much, so we'll change that to 7000. Have a look. That's had no effect. It's a bit better. Great, so it looks like it will fit now. Let's burn this project. I hope you found this video tutorial useful. Please feel free to like or comment below the video. or subscribe. If you have any requests, please let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.